Hey there, this is Erica with the K, and you're in the E Zone experience. And if you're here, that means that we're vibing on the same frequency. So please hang out, like, share, and comment below. And I have a few topics today. And again, if you're here, that means that we're right here, right? For at least right now. And I'm determined to do 3 videos this week. So this is video number 2. And most of my topics are about relationships. So today we're going to talk about making red flags white flags. And I'm sure this has been done to death, but not by me, not by E. So we're going to talk about when we have red flags and we make them white flags. And raunchy, like I always talk about, I want to be a freak in the bedroom. Then I don't know why drew that out. I'm from Georgia, but that was a bit much, right? But just being raunchy, right? Like, but I think we're going to talk about this. So we're going to talk about making red flags white flags, being raunchy enough. What secrets do you have that you'll take to the grave? Like, there some things that you are determined to take to the grave with you, like you will not tell anybody, right? And I'll probably share one that I can think of, right? I have some other topics, but I think I'm going to save them for my 3rd video. So we're just going to jump into it. Again, if you're interested in talking about dating, about sex, and about secrets, hang out with me. Again, like, share, and subscribe. That was the other word I was looking for. Comment too, but I want you to subscribe. So I do have wine, and I want to reach for it. So sorry about this. I mentioned in my last video that I have kind of lost the taste for wine and alcohol, period, which is good, right? I guess. I don't know what my next vice will be, though, so that could be dangerous. But anyway, so let's jump into it. Like, I am notorious for seeing red flags in guys and ignoring them and making them somehow, when I get through coloring that red flag, it's white. And you know, that's kind of hard to do. Like, how do you take there's red crayon, a flag of a person. So this is guy number 1, guy number 2, guy number 3. And they all have a flag, and one with the red flag, somehow I take something white and I color their red flag and make it white. And I'm just going to pause there, because logically and scientifically that shit doesn't work. Because if you take white crayon and paint over and color over a red crayon colored flag, you're gonna probably get some yucky looking fucked up pink, right? So the shit doesn't work scientifically, logically, and in real life. So why do I do it? Why do you do it? We're all notorious for it. Like, I'm sure I'm not the only one who saw somebody coming and knew that they weren't the person for you, but they were persistent, and you were feeling sorry for them, maybe? Yeah. You were probably feeling sorry for them, or you felt like they had potential. So I'm good for somebody with potential, and especially if they're nice. I think mine has been more out of pity, right? But it's such a waste of time, right? But somebody comes to you and they don't bring them. If they bring in their best selves, it's not at the caliber of what you're used to, accustomed to, expecting, and you still entertain them. When I say you, I mean me. Shame on us for doing that. Like, and not that I think I'm better than, right? I don't think I'm better than anyone. I just feel like I know when that person isn't for me, and I shouldn't entertain them, right? I should just be conscious enough and consistent enough to say, like, you're not my dude. I'm not your girl. You're not my dude. I don't care what you feel like. Like, if you come to me stinky, even if you're saying that you worked all day, whatever, unless we're in a real bona fide relationship, exclusive relationship, which means you probably got some drawers that you left here. You left a few things here, or I'm buying you a few things to have here for convenience purposes, then don't come to me stinky. Don't come to me where you have not washed your ass unless we've had a conversation. You've asked and said, hey, can I just take a shower when I get over there? Maybe they're coming straight from work. Maybe I can do that. I can do that. But if it's been hours, you haven't worked today, I don't know what the fuck you've been doing. Don't come to me stinky. And yeah, I've had somebody try that. And it's, when they get here, of course I'm not going to say you can't bathe, but I think that's shitty. Like, what does that say for me, and what does that say for you? Like, that's kind of shitty, right? Or knowing that a person just can't afford to be with you. And it's not financial, but it is financial, right? Like, especially when you're first dating, you're first meeting somebody. And I've done that. Look, I've paid my dues. I've been the halvesy. I've gone in half in pretty much every fucking relationship I've been in, except maybe two. Especially with my husband and my fiance when I was living with them. It was, we went down the middle. It was fucking roommates. I'm not doing that again, right? And especially if somebody knew that I'm dating. Like, you should, yeah, my nose is running again. I think maybe it's the makeup. Or maybe it's nervousness of getting ready to do these videos, because it doesn't run until I'm doing these freaking videos. But anyway, so if you can't financially afford to take me out, stop fucking asking me. Like, there's something, I'm giving you a hint of who I am. Like, I don't tout anything about me financially, but there's something that should give off to you that my expectations, even when I'm posting, because most of these dudes are finding me on social media. I don't fake shit on my page. I don't even post now where I am most of the time, because I've had chameleons. I've had guys hit me up and pretend to be someone that they aren't, right? Pretend that they have certain things. And it's not, I don't want comments. Well, I can't stop you from fucking commenting, but comments about they can find another you. It's not finding a house, a car, whatever. It's fine. Find somebody else. They're not gonna find me. They'll find somebody else on their level who maybe can handle whatever they're giving out, but it won't be me. And it's perfectly fine. I prefer that they find another me and not me, because it's such a waste of time, right? If you know that you are not financially stable or at a place where you should be dating me, leave me alone. Like, just don't do yourself a service and do me a favor and keep it pushing. Like, it's okay. Like, I get it. I'm flattered that you want to make an effort, but it's not for us. It's not in the cards. And it's such a waste of time, right? Again, red flags, I'm coloring my best to try to make it white. And whiteout not gonna do it. For those old school people who know what whiteout is, who actually know what a typewriter is, I don't even own whiteout. And so again, scientifically, logically, and in real life, coloring over red with white doesn't fucking work, right? So I'm not angry. I'm just frustrated because there are guys who know better. And fuck them, I know better, right? So again, when I see a red flag, when I say, dang, he kind of has that energy of, or dang, I don't like that this looks like that, or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that draws a red flag in my head, it instantly ta-da, just sticks right up. And then I'll be like, well, is it red? Maybe it's a dark pink, or no, bitch, it's red. And I'm calling me bitch, right? Like, just steer clear. Do better, E. And I want the guys to do better too. I remember Years ago, my girlfriend and I used to get offended when an ugly guy would approach us. I'm like, well, and not that I think I'm better than, right? Like, I guess it does sound kind of shitty or arrogant, but this is like real life for me. So I'm sharing my story. Now looks are not such a big deal anymore to me, and it shouldn't have been. That was shallow even then, right? But when an ugly dude or a dude who you could tell was not at they weren't financially stable just by the way that they were dressing, the way they carried themselves, even the way they were driving or whatever it was. And at that time, I was struggling financially or just getting my feet stable under me, right? So I definitely didn't need anybody who was worse off than me financially at that time, right? I fuck emotion, fuck love. I just did not need any of that. I didn't need to pick up another kid. Basically, that's what it would have been. Me picking up a project or another dependent for me to try to fix up and build a bear and train them and get them to no. So anyway, when an ugly guy would approach us, I'm like, why? Like, why did he really think he had a chance? And what we concluded, the conclusion we came to was they didn't give a fuck. What did they have to lose? Like they were already what? And I think that was part of it. And also men are just so fucking arrogant sometimes that they really think that it's a privilege to be with them sometimes. So that was just always kind of frustrating to me when an ugly guy or a guy you knew that was barely fucking eating himself would approach me, right? So that is that's one topic. So the other one, and yeah, I hadn't gotten to the vlogging yet, but the other one, because I talked about my last video that I was gonna vlog, I'm still working on. I'm still building the confidence of like the struggling ugly guys who build the confidence up to try to talk to or holler at or shoot their shot with a pretty woman, a woman who definitely looks like they have their shit together, right? Men don't give a fuck. They will still try, right? I guess they have to, right? Like the percentage of the number of rejections they probably get on a day to day, just the normal working, not the most handsome guys, the percentage of that is probably very high, that they're getting more rejections than more yeses. So I can see that, yeah, they got to shoot more shots, right? Um anyway, so the next, I also wanted to talk about like being raunchy, right? Like I keep hearing, and I'm a proponent for it, is finding someone that you feel safe with, right? Like you want to be able to be super vulnerable with a person. I remember saying to a guy that I was seeing earlier this year that I've never passed gas or farted in front of anybody I was in a relationship, and even in my marriage. Like I know that that's crazy, and I have friends who actually are in the bathroom with their significant other while they are doing number two, defecating or whatever, and I'm like, never. Like I don't want to be near the bathroom when my significant other is doing that, right? I just, peeing fine, but that I just don't want any parts of it. So I remember saying that to him, and he was like, I just think girls just look for an excuse and just want to fart. Like he was so offended. And I was just having an open discussion. Like I didn't think he was the dude I could do it with because he was an oddball. He was a unique individual. And our conversation we had ebbs and flows. So sometimes we could talk about really good things, and then sometimes it was strained or it was awkward, and mostly because as long as he was talking, he was fine. It was such a lopsided relationship. As long as he was talking, the conversation was great, right? As long as I was just nodding or only asking questions just to let him know I was paying attention, everything was great. But if I wanted to add to the conversation or stimulate conversation, he just wasn't interested, right? So yeah, I'm gonna tattoo the shot. But anyway, um, so along with that, not necessarily just being nasty or whatever, but I just really want to get in, have a relationship. My next relationship or relationships is that I want to feel safe. I want to feel comfortable to be that vulnerable, to pass gas and not think. And I think it's normal. Like I've had guys who have said, like, "Girl, just it's natural, just fart, let it go, like whatever." And I just haven't felt that comfortable. So this is something that I'm working on, but along with that, so it's not necessarily just that. I want to be safe from a sexual perspective. Like I've said quite a few times on some of my videos that I just want to be a freak, right? I want to be with someone that I could try any and everything with. And I know that it's probably so passe, like people are doing it all day, every day with strangers, right? That's not me, right? Because I want to try pretty much everything. There are some things, there are some hoes that just, they will always be my hoe, my sacred hoe. Like everything doesn't go in all my hoes, but I do want, there's some things out there that I've heard my friends talk about, and I'm like, damn, I didn't know they were doing that. Like, they're doing that? Like, they're doing that? That looks better. I not experienced that. Like, and I think that's pushing the envelope. Like you really gotta trust that person to stop when you get to that point of that exhilaration with that orgasm, right? And I'm like, I'm so focused on getting that orgasm that I don't know that I'll remember to tap you or try to say the safe word to make you stop, right? And I'm like, I gotta trust you to let go at the right time, right? I don't know. I want to be raunchy though. I want to be safe with that, with my next person, right? Like I've gotten better about dressing up. Like when I know that a guy is coming to visit, that, and I know that sex is on the agenda. Um, Not that he's coming just for sex, but that I know that I'm horny. I know that the sex is gonna be good, and I want to get to it when they get here. I've gotten a lot better about dressing or not dressing for the occasion. Um, I've gotten better about being assertive with that person. So if we're just talking and I want it, I go get it. Like I've gotten better about that than just waiting for them or talking about it and then when they get here not doing yet. Like no, I've gotten much better than in my big old age. So, but I do want to get better about just taking advantage of the skin, the body, the things that we could do to each other and what can be done to me. So that's on my bucket list. Like, how do you get confident enough to do that? And I think it's because your partner, you have to feel safe with your partner. Again, I know some people who just having sex, they just do any and everything. I'm not that person and I'm not judging them. I kind of love it for them because, again, I know that I came back to this experience to experience life. And I think I've not done this life justice. I think I definitely have a lot of catching up to do, and being raunchy in the bedroom, that is where I want to make sure I catch up. So that and then the other thing I wanted to talk about is I always hear, like, I'm a very secretive person. Like, even with my closest friends, there are things that I don't share with them. And I think I have a friend or two who does the same. And then I have other friends who tell us everything. Everything. There's not, I'm probably the one that talks mostly more about sex and mostly because I'm curious and I'm asking questions, so I'm telling them about my experience or whatever. Um, but when it comes to other things, there are certain things that I just don't tell them, and there are some things that I truly believe, like I really want to take to my grave. And what I wonder is that like everybody, is that a Scorpio thing, or do you, when you have best friends, do you tell your best friend everything? Like, or my mom and I are super close, and my daughter and I are super close, but I know that there are one or two things that I'm gonna take to my grave. Like, I'm not going to tell them, and I would feel bad if my daughter or my best friends didn't trust me enough to share everything with me. I don't expect them to tell me everything, but I think there's a part of me that would be a little, I don't know, hurt. I don't know if hurt is the word. I would disappointed. No, because it's more about me, right? It's not even about them. And so this is therapy. This is our therapy session for free here. But I do want to know your thoughts too, right? Like, is there something that you would take to the grave? And if so, what is it? Like, message me and I'll be your bartender or your nail technician. That's what I was saying in the other video, and I lost my train of thought, that talking to my nail technician is like talking to a bartender, because she doesn't know me or my friends. So it's like I could just tell her everything and it's not going to go anywhere. I don't know. So if you go back and watch that video. But I just I think there are some things that I want. Like, I definitely, some of the guys I've dated, there are some guys I've dated my friends don't know about. When I say dated, I mean messed around with, hooked up with, and not like the one night stand, but seen them a few times because maybe they were a little bit more thuggish or a little bit more hood. So I felt like my friends would judge me on those. So they'll know that I'm hanging out with the guy, but I just don't give them any details. And not that I'm ashamed of them. I think it's because I think that they would judge me, or they'll say, "Erica, you know that's a red flag." And those red flags I'm okay with, because I know that it's not going anywhere. Those are the fun relationships. So there are different red flags for me. So a red flag, knowing that, okay, so when I consciously date somebody with a red flag, would, like I said, I know that their lifestyle is different than what I usually or should be dating, because I don't see a future in it, but I consciously choose to hang out with them. That's one thing. That's a red flag I'm okay with. That red flag is kind of like a turn on to me. And that probably sounds crazy, but it is. But then there's the red flag of the guy who's really trying hard, and I know they got potential, but I have no business dating them. And I'm really not interested, but they just try so hard, and you just try to give them a chance, and maybe feel sorry for them. I don't know, but there are two red flags for me. So this red flag that I go get, and then this red flag that keeps coming to me, and I'm just like, and you should have just kept with, leave me alone and I'll leave you, and just leave me alone. And I don't know how to fight, so that was obvious, right? So what would you, so that's probably one thing that I would definitely, I've hidden from my friends and probably take to the grave. The guys that some guys that I've dated, that they probably wouldn't approve of. I don't know if that's the right word. Or they would be like, what the fuck are you doing with them? And then I don't. Oh yeah, probably yeah. So and then these are things that maybe someone else is aware of, and no, my friends don't know about, or my mom and my, my, they don't know about it. But maybe it's something that occurred with someone else. So like getting super drunk and doing something that's super embarrassing, I guess me and only that person knows. I haven't shared that because I guess I need to stop worrying so much about what people think. Um, that then I probably could tell everybody everything, even though it's not their business, right? It's my story to tell. But is there anything that you definitely have done, a secret that you have that you would take to your grave, like you just will never ever reveal it to anybody? Or are you the kind of person that you just don't give a fuck, like you don't care what people say, what they think? You're not trying to hide anything. It's not like you have to tell them either, but you don't care either way. If they know, they know. Whoever you fuck, whoever you see, whoever you date, none of their business. Or you ain't gotta hide it, right? And I don't have to hide it. I pay my own bills. I'm my own woman, but I think there's a part of me that would be slightly ashamed if the people knew something. Certain people knew certain things about me, I think. But anyway, so this is the end of this video. I think I'm going to record one more and I'll post it later this week. And then maybe I'll work on the vlogs. But anyway, so this is Erica in the E-Zone. You are in the E-Zone experience. And if you found me, that means I fuck with you and we are on the same frequency. So like, subscribe, share, and comment below. Thanks for watching.